Everybody being here for our work session for our council meeting, which will be next week, August 19th. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes, July 29th, 2024, 5 p.m. council work session, August 5th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. council work session, August 5th, 2024, 6 p.m. council meeting. Any questions?
No.
Next, we have approval of monthly bills, approved July 2024 monthly bills. Any questions? Okay, set public hearings, ordinance 244587, approved rezoning request 1424-24 for property located at 223366 Bibb Garrett Road. Set public hearing for September 16th, 2024 at 10 a.m.
How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. That's good. Okay, the applicant is requesting to rezone 202 acres from AG2 agriculture to RD redevelopment. The property is located southwest of 2336 Bibb Garrett, and it went before the Planning Commission July 23rd. They did recommend to rezone. Any questions?
Any questions?
So this RD is kind of like a potpourri. It can be residential, retail, industrial. It's the whole gamut.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions? All right, next setting of public hearing, ordinance 244588, approved rezoning request 142624 for property located at 211 West Moulton Street. Set public hearing for September 16th, 2024 at 10 a.m.
All right, the applicant is requesting to rezone 135 acres from one local shopping to B2 general business. It's located at 211 West Moulton, and it went before the Planning Commission July 23rd. They did recommend to rezone.
Any questions?
I got a question on on Bibb Garrett to what was asked RD. So can it continue to remain ag?
Can it continue to remain ag?
Right now it's ag, right?
Yes, sir, ag too. And they rezoned it to RD redevelopment.
So they can't grow crop there any longer?
It's more of RD redevelopment. It's more of a multi-businesses and residential living all in the area.
But it could include ag.
Use current use, go back to current use today.
Okay.
As long as they continue to farm it, they can keep farming. Yeah.
Thank you.
So once it's developed, then
Once it starts to develop,
okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good question. All right, any questions on either of those? I did need to mention one thing I forgot to before we started. Mr. Jackson is on the phone, so I just wanted everybody to know that. Public hearings, resolution 24095, approve abatement of unsafe conditions at 425 Vine Street Northwest. Public hearing was tabled to August 19th, 2024. Josh?
So there's been no changes on this property.
Okay.
We've heard nothing from the property owners.
All right, any questions? All right, weed abatements, anything of note on those?
No, just normal weed abatements we've already covered. We're just asking for your permission to sell it.
Okay, any questions? All right, resolutions. Resolution 24171, approved budget amendment for the purchase of additional garbage carts from Auto Environmental Services. Daniel?
Yes, Mr. Council, this is just for, we typically use about 1,600 cars, which is about 4% of our total accounts. So this will replace, and also for our new ones, it'll last about a year. We're also, if we purchase them today, we'll save close to $20,000 if we wait until the new fiscal year.
Okay. Would that come out of unassigned then?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it won't be in the budget for next year since we're moving the timeline up.
Okay. All right, any questions? All right, resolution 24172, authorize mayor to sign agreement with Mental Health Center of North Central Alabama for ARPA funding. Ellen?
Yes, this is just an agreement with Mental Health Center of North Central Alabama from what they presented a couple of months, wasn't months ago, a couple of weeks ago. So this will just codify with that, and we will, it'll be on a reimbursement basis. They'll submit invoices and we will pay off those invoices.
Okay.
And their bid opening, I think, is the 1st of September, is maybe the 9th.
Okay, any questions? Mr. Mosley, did you have a question on this one?
Oh, no.
Okay. The next one, sorry. The 24-173? Okay, sorry, I had the wrong one. All right, any questions? All right, Resolution 24-173, authorize the acceptance of funds for the Morgan County State Delegation for signage at the train depot and Old State Bank.
Yes, this was just an appropriation that we got from the delegation, Senator Orr's office.
Yeah, I was going to say define state delegation for those that may not know.
Yeah, it's Senator Orr to replace the signs at both Old Bank and the depot.
But the delegation would be Senator
Senator
Orr,
Orr.
Representative Collins, Representative Moore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, any questions? Alan?
I have some concerns about.
Do you mind coming?
I have some, Joe.
Yes, sir.
I have some concerns about some things that were brought to my attention in regards to the signage and the Old State Bank. There was some signage put up there, and I was going to ask if the mayor would please stay for public comment today, so we could maybe address and discuss some of those things.
I won't be staying for public comment. I might be able to watch, and I can get back in touch with you.
Thanks, Alvin. All right, Resolution 24-174, award bid number 24020 for janitorial services to J&H Janitorial being the lowest responsible bidder.
Good evening, Jeremy Sherrill, Procurement. This is an annual renewal. This contract bids were open on June 6th. We received 4 bids and recommend J&H Janitorial as lowest responsible bidder.
All right, any questions?
Who's the current?
Diversified.
Thank you.
Right.
Jeremy, you know why it was such a broad difference in the bid?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, Resolution 24-175, award bid number 24023 to Hogan's Mechanical Services LLC for LED field lighting installation at Sportsplex being the lowest responsible bidder.
So the lighting has been acquired already through a national cooperative. This is for installation only. We opened bids on August 6th, received 4 bids, and we are recommending Hogan's Mechanical.
All right, any questions? All right, Resolution 24-176, approve City of Decatur and, is that Darty LLC agreement for public easement.
Yeah, this is an agreement with the owner of the Econo Lodge to access his section of the road for the access road over there by the Darty property. It will open this up for development. Both brokers have been asking for that. So what we're proposing is instead of buying the access, we are going to waive the first the hotel building permit, which is roughly not to exceed $40,000, which is about what it is for this type of hotel for that easement.
All right, any questions? All right, Resolution 24-177, approve Charter Communications Spectrum 6th Avenue lighting project.
Yes, and this is the burial of the charter line on the 6th Avenue project.
All right, any questions? All right, Resolution 24-178, approve acceptance of donation for a handicap swing to be placed at Rhodes Ferry Park. Jason?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. First, thanks for putting this on the agenda. I know this was something that we didn't have on time, but this does help as far as the cost. They were able to get a half-off deal that was going to stop us. We had to go on this agenda. This is coming from Decatur City Plan. It's for a handicap swing that will go at Rhodes Ferry Park. So if you look at it, you can pull your wheelchair up on it, and it has a way to safely do that. And it won't take the place of anything that's there. It'll go in with what's there now. So, but they're taking care of all that. Decatur City Town is. They're actually getting the swing, bringing it to us, having it put in, and all that. So we're very thankful for that.
Thanks. Jason, any questions? All right, anything else from city department heads or managers? All right, we will move into the public comment part of the meeting. Remember, we do 3 minutes with a minute, 4th minute to wrap up, and no profanity, no vulgar comments or anything like that. And we'll just go in order. Dr. Rice, go first.
Good evening,
Evening.
Dr. Rice.
How are you?
So we had something that was very disturbing happen in our city over the weekend. And first of all, I want to hear your public statement about the signs that were posted and the things that were said about our city from each individual. So, Mr. McMasters, how do you feel about what happened? And do you believe in what they posted? Are you willing to openly say how you feel?
I will openly say I do not believe in what they posted. Bigotry has, there's no place in it. But without regurgitating what the council president has already said, I feel exactly the same way he does.
I want to hear it out of your mouth.
That's what I just said. It is bigotry has no place. Racism has no place. What was put up is not indicative of the way I want this city to be. It's just not at all.
And it's something that blessed me about what Jacob said was it has no place in the city,
The state, the country,
or the
world.
country.
Yep.
And that really permeated in my heart. So, Mr. Pepper, how do you respond to what happened in the city, and what do you think we should do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, that's a good question. So obviously, it's disgraceful that somebody would go and put something like that up in a display for anybody to see. That's there, as Mr. McMaster said and as Mr. Ladner said, racism has no place in this city, county, state, or in the United States of America. There's no place for it here. I think the individuals that put that sign up, I'm curious to know if there is anything that could be like legally done to them. If there is, it should be pursued. As that's very disgraceful, and it puts it's just not a good image for anybody to be able to see, and somebody to have to think about every day. That's just not appropriate.
Okay, Mr. Marks, is there anything that the city can do because they defamated the city property, and it was a hate crime? Outlandishly, it was a hate crime. So is the city going to do something? Is the police department going to do something to respond?
Is there any like charges for that, Herman? Is there
Yes,
some?
there's charges. The police department will have to investigate it, or anybody else that has information that would help respond to it.
So
That's a great response. If there is an investigation that can be conducted on this situation, it needs to be done.
Guys, come on.
3 minutes. Okay, Jacob, we already know how you feel, and Kyle, I know we haven't heard how you felt, but I'd like to just hear it.
Yeah, I actually shared Councilman Ladner's post, but I think it's absolutely disheartening that we're still seeing that type of behavior. We all know it's not the first time we've seen something like that in Decatur. I pray that it's the last, but we don't know. It's unacceptable, and I can't comprehend how in anybody's mind that is right. I don't believe it represents the values of the majority of residents in Decatur, but it's not what we want people to know us for or what people should expect of us.
Absolutely. The thing that concerned me the most, and I'm sure that the mayor knew we were going to discuss this, and it concerns me the most because I haven't seen anything from him. Excuse me, that's the first thing. The second thing is, from a spiritual perspective, I believe every one of you sitting up here profess to be a child of God, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the scripture says, he who hates disguises it with his lips, but he stores up deceit in his heart. When he speaks graciously in kindness to conceal his malice, do not trust him. For 7 abominations are in his heart. Though his hatred covers itself with guile and deceit, his malevolence will be revealed openly before the assembly. So our actions and how we act and say the things we say, they actually will come out, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth is going to speak. Can I say one quick thing? In another scripture and this is 1 John 4:20 through 21, and it's a TPT version, it says, anyone can say I love God, yet have hatred toward another believer. This makes him a phony, because if you don't love a brother or a sister whom you can see, how can you truly love God whom you can't see? For he has given us this command, Whoever loves God must also demonstrate love toward others. You know, I just want to remind all of us as leaders in the city and all of us as citizens of the city, by our words, we're going to be justified, and by our words, we're going to be condemned. If we got up here and we said, I'm standing against this, it's wrong and I don't believe in it, but then our actions demonstrate something different, even if it's in the closet and nobody can see it but you. God sees what we're doing. Y'all have a good evening.
Thanks, Dr. Rice. Danielle.
Good evening.
Danielle.
My comments are for Mr. McMasters today. It came to my attention that you were concerned about the sit-in that was going to happen today, and that you wanted to make sure that the peaceful protesters who have been protesting peacefully for almost 11 months now did not block city entrances and all that good stuff. Which is interesting because they've never done anything like that. Nor have they ever shot and killed anyone in their front yard, tased anybody, arrested people under false pretenses, punched a woman in the face. So my request of you is that if you are that concerned about public safety, that you use that same energy to figure out who put that banner on that bridge and to figure out who painted down there under the old State Bank Bridge. And that you use that same level of concern to figure out and go to Telegram, which is open, where anybody can see who these people are and what their websites are. And that you devote that same energy to people who are actually threats, not people who go out and clean up after people destroy property and try to help the very same police that are targeting them to get the people who are tearing up the city. So as the person who on this council has done, even Hunter Pepper has done more than you for these people right here and for all of these people in here. So to say that it bothered me, I don't mind you being on the fence, but stay on the fence. Don't come try to get over here with these people who are asking for justice and not be just as angry. Jacob and Kyle, I talked to them after the whole banner incident. He said it's ridiculous. He said what he said. It's good that you share their posts, but what people are asking for, that's why Dr. Rice got up, is for you ought to be more pissed than anybody up here. They should be saying, I'm afraid of coming to another council meeting, not because of the protesters, because Carlton McMasters isn't gonna let this go in his district. He's standing behind his constituents. He's standing behind Justin Shepherd. They should be saying, Carlton gets on my nerves. After every council meeting, he's hemming us up, telling us we have to have answers. That police department, when they see you coming, they should be shaking in their boots. So that's all my request is of you as a council person, that you literally keep that same energy. Either don't do anything or get involved in help. That's it.
I actually had a question. You mentioned Telegram. I know nothing about that. Can you actually see people that are associated with the group or just the group in general?
So they all have usernames. Telegram is supposed to.
So it's not probably a person.
Right, but they have posted videos of themselves hanging the stuff. Now, after a while, some people have gone through, I don't know if they're here, some people have gone through and actually tried to look for identifying markings and things like that. I haven't done that, but anybody can go on their site right now, see who they are. And the gentleman from Patriot Front or wherever they're from,
I've seen that one.
his face isn't covered. Yeah. Whoever he is, I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I had a question. What was under the bridge? What's under the bridge? I heard about the banner. I didn't hear.
I can show you after.
Okay.
Sierra Taylor.
So I just, first let me say again, I appreciate that he did contact me back and give me some information, but I still have no information really. And it's so frustrating because I had shit beat out of me. Crap, sorry. But it's so frustrating Like, do you guys not see to where this is like
I do.
I'm ready to explode.
Yeah, I understand your frustration. And if I had any information to give you, I hope you know that I would. I have
believe
tried
would.
to
I don't
help
believe
you.
anyone else would, but I do. I mean, well, Billy Jackson, but he's not here. But I don't have a lot of faith in you, but I have a little.
Well,
Just to be honest.
I think everything you've asked me to do,
You have.
done, and I
So,
have contacted you
My
back.
next thing was just, do you guys have a plan to get the stuff under the Old Bank Bridge
Yeah.
cleaned up, or is that something we should go
No,
through? We're willing to.
Sure. As far as that goes, it was brought to my attention this morning via Facebook, and I did reach out to try to get that removed, and we are working on getting it removed. So yes.
That needs to be removed really quickly.
Yeah.
And if it's not, and we go and do it, are we going to be charged with some kind of charges because we're wanting
Let
to
us try to get that done. It is on railroad property, so we're having to go through that route, but let us try to get that done.
Okay, and then my other question is, so like when it's come to looking into anything with us, any of us that's peacefully protesting or anything, there has been, I mean, the cops didn't hesitate to dig in and research who these usernames belong to, or, you know, who this tattoo is on, or who has this color hair with this color beard, or who wears this mask. So are they going to put that same energy into these people?
I think all energy that we can give to that situation needs to be given to it, and it ought to be prosecuted at the highest level it can be. It's totally, well, I can't say the words because I'll make myself get in trouble, but it's totally inappropriate, and it has no place here in Decatur, and we need to make that known.
And then, I mean, we know we've got a mayor that is just as racist as them, so he's not going to do anything. But my next thing is, Hunter, how do you feel about the painting under the bridge and the signs being...
I actually just asked him. I'm only familiar with the sign. I wasn't familiar with the painting. I don't know who just mentioned it first. I haven't seen anything about that one. I was actually curious to know if he had a picture.
I was going to show him.
See, I don't do social media, so I actually didn't see it that way. I just seen it by someone showing me as well.
I had no clue about that. I'm assuming it's something racist. I'm assuming.
It's basically the same stuff that was, I mean, you know.
It says
points people to it.
We dare defend our rights, but it's a white supremacist group that posted it.
Obviously, the same thing about how I feel regarding the banner. It's inappropriate. Racism has no place here. I mean, I've been called a racist plenty of times sitting on the seat, and
that's why I asked you, because I feel like you are. So I wanted to know how you felt about it.
Feel free to feel as I'm a racist all you want. People talk bad about me all day long. I could care less. However, in my heart, no, I'm not a racist. But I think it's disgusting and disgraceful that somebody would go and do that. And as I've stated to Mr. Marks, or as I asked, obviously there are some charges. And now that I'm 100% positive there's a charge for vandalism or some sort of...
I mean, definitely.
Yeah, I better say there's got to be some sort of charge for spray painting.
People were tracked
I'm
down
assuming
on the
it's
bridge,
spray painted.
so I don't see how they couldn't be tracked down for...
Yeah, so there's obviously got to be some sort of charge for that, and they should be held and held accountable. They should be prosecuted and tried just like anybody else would be, and
So are you willing to make sure, along with Jacob, that this gets cleaned up?
I will join anybody that wants to join me. We can leave right now and go do it together if we get the proper.
We need to go through. I will communicate with you guys.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we don't want to get the feds on top of us.
But yes. All right, Lisa Bradley.
Hey, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Before we go on, I've sat back and I've listened to this. I was in a text conversation with Tad last night regarding the painting, and I shared with him that it came from a. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I shared with him because we had. Someone had sent me a. Film basically of the white supremacist group that was doing that, and I shared that with Kat. And rather than him jumping in and saying that we would take care of it, and I am aware that it's on railroad property, rather than him jumping in and saying, we're going to take care of it, his position was he started questioning me as to how I knew that it was a white supremacist group, rather than addressing the issues that we need to take care of here in the city. So that for me was problematic. That for me was problematic. There should have been no question about it. It should have just been removed. So, you know, when he said that it was the materials would be removed in the text that he sent me, but they have not been removed. That should have been removed, Jacob, this morning.
Has the banner been taken
down? We found out about it, even though it's railroad property, graffiti in our city, it should have been taken care of and removed. So I'll get off the phone now, but I just did not want to sit back and pretend that we had not had these conversations with Tab. And Tab, of course, has left the meeting and won't address these things, but that was the conversation that we had last night.
My conversation with him was this afternoon, so I didn't know they had one last night.
Yeah, I know you weren't aware of the conversation that we had last night, but he and I had a conversation via text last night, and he questioned how I knew. Again, it was a racist group that was doing this, and there's evidence that shows that it's a racist group that was doing this. So there should not, regardless of what it is, it's graffiti in our city. It should have been removed, regardless of who put it there, and even more so with the understanding as to who did put it there, and knowing who put it there. So, again, it's a mayor who's fallen on his job, a mayor who is running away from the citizens, and it's a mayor who is a mayor who should basically resign his position because he's not standing up for what our citizens should expect of him. So that's where I am. I'm going to mute back off now, but I just didn't want to go without anyone knowing that this conversation was had last night.
Okay. Thanks, Billy. Lisa?
Can I ask y'all something? Who y'all scared of? I know y'all ain't gonna answer, but y'all obviously scared of somebody. Because see, y'all sit up here like y'all are professionals, and it's gonna kill y'all to agree with anything that we bring up to y'all. Even though we got every video, every violation of every policy and procedure that was done, y'all sit up here and y'all went and y'all finna pay these other folks all these hundreds of thousands of dollars to come up here so they can be the bad guy, so that they can say there's something wrong with the police department. Let me ask y'all something. Did y'all see them two high speed, well, one was a low speed chase, but did y'all see them two speed chases last month? The one man that didn't go more than 30 miles an hour through the city for over an hour, and the police was chasing him, the whole department. It took them forever to get the man.
Is that the
Did
guy
y'all see that? Did y'all see that video?
Is that the guy that drove through the park? He drove
That
through the
stole
parking
from the
lot.
hospital. Did y'all see that video? Did y'all see how incompetent Decatur Police Department was in that video? Driving through through the apartment complex grass. They could have hit a child. Not around that same time, they had another high-speed chase in East Acres. I don't know, did y'all see that video? Okay, let me tell you something. I've been in Decatur since 2008. I didn't vote for any of y'all because I don't know who any of y'all are. But when this stuff happened with Steve and Jaden, it opened my eyes to start paying attention to what's going on around me. So I seen that high-speed chase. That car never left East Acres. How many streets are in East Acres? 6, 7, 8? 30 minutes they drove and chased that man. The whole police, they was driving reckless. This is on a summer night, 8, 9 o'clock at night in the projects where we know children are still outside playing. After Jaden, they didn't get a plan together to figure out what they gonna do about high-speed chases. That should have been done last year. A plan should have been in place last year for that. And here we are a year later, and they ready to kill somebody else. Like, what y'all need to see that they're incompetent? That's right. Under Chief Pinion. He can't control it. We done already showed you what he did to us, the protesters. I'm seeing stuff outside. Listen, since I've been coming here, you know how many babies that got killed out here in Decatur, Alabama by other kids? Y'all still taking all the stuff away for these kids to do. They ain't got no city bus. Well, I'm from the city. We got a bus system. It might run every 15 minutes. Why Decatur ain't got one running every hour or something? A lot of these kids could be working since y'all done took everything from them. But maybe they ain't got no way to get there. So guess what? Y'all ain't got no bus system. Y'all building pickleball courts. And these babies is losing their way right now. We losing babies. We losing grown folk. The police are not competent of doing their job. What do it take for y'all to see that? Like, y'all can't sit up here like y'all professionals and don't own shit. Excuse my French, and I don't want to hear
Guys,
about
we
what I
can't
need to
have
watch,
any
because let
more
me tell you something.
profanity.
That man that you call the mayor, he disrespected my people with no regards to his disrespect. So I don't, if I said shit, I did. But listen,
Lisa,
at the end of the
we
day,
can't
at
have
the
any
end of
more
the day-
profanity.
At the end of the day, accountability. We've asked for transparency since the beginning, and guess what? Whether we want to believe it or not, y'all done gave us every bit of transparency. We already see what y'all about. Y'all don't want to defend us. Y'all can't go agree with nothing we just showed you, and we just showed you facts. Ain't no stories made up. We showed you facts. Hey, no disrespect whatsoever to Miss Sonia Massey. I promise you I mean no harm, but guess what? Steve Perkins died worse than Sonia Massey. I'm gonna tell you what, because at least that sorry police identified himself when he came to her house and shot that woman dead. Them folks hid out Steve's house and killed him like thugs. And y'all can't even see that. Y'all gotta pay somebody else to come and tell y'all what y'all should already be able to see. Y'all are not professionals. All y'all need to get the hell up ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Bradley. Mike?
That's all I come by.
Hey, look, no more profanity or we're gonna have to quit, okay? Mike?
I guess my biggest thing is to the mayor. I just don't understand how can you be a leader in the city and we didn't get any statement from him saying that, you know, this is not what's supposed to happen. I apologize for what happened. The mayor has shown us time after time, and he's still showing us that he does not care. So I'm going to say it again to the stakeholders, to the business leaders. Please send him letters asking him to resign. I even asked the ones that's closest to him, like his wife and his family, to ask him to resign so our city can move forward. We cannot move forward up under this man, because the more we move forward, the more he's going to pull us back. You know, and it seems like he is, by him not saying anything about these signs up there, that he's allowing it and that he's okay with those signs being up there. So what he needs to do is he needs to get on social media or get on the news and tell us something. Jacob shouldn't have to do his job. You know what I'm saying? And again, to pick back on what Lisa said about the police department, it's time for Todd to go. I keep saying it. I mean, there's no plan. Y'all can come up with a barbecue to put over there. We don't need a barbecue. We can afford our own food. You know what I'm saying? But what we need is a plan on how we're going to be safe. It's a shame that we're having to send people to D.C. to go get trained about safety, because we don't have safety in our own neighborhoods. Todd Pinion needs to go, and Tab Bowden, I know y'all can't do nothing with Tab, but you can do something with Todd. And you all can send in ethics complaints on Tab. It's time to get the city straight. We're ready to move forward, but y'all are not ready to move forward because you're not ready to let go of Todd. You're waiting on a plan or whatever, waiting on a third party to come, which is you should be able to see it with your own eyes. Again, how you gonna tell who did the banner when you can't even tell who destroyed the memorial? Now that same camera said Elena was doing something. That same camera cannot say who stole the memorials. I don't understand.
Thanks, Mike. I do, I hear you on what you're saying. I do think there should be a statement put out. I did text the mayor about the overpass right when I found out about it, and he, from what I understand, he did go out there to try to, I don't know who removed it, I don't know, but he did go out there. I don't know if he removed it or somebody else did, but anyway.
It was gone within 15 minutes.
I can't hear anything. All right, where's Justin? Is it Wheel or Weil? Weil.
So I'd like to thank Council President Ladner for being the first one to come out and speak out against the signage that was posted over the weekend. I'm kind of disappointed that there was no joint press conference by the city to address the issue at all. I would have thought there would have been some kind of leadership from the mayor on that. Additionally, Has there been any movement on the police advisory committee that someone spoke about in May?
Yeah, so that's actually part of GRT is helping us in how we need to form that group. There is still an existing group that's within the police department. We're talking about one that would be existing outside the police department. So there is movement on that, but we don't have a final plan on that yet.
Okay. And then my next question for you all is, obviously the layout of the council has changed since last January. When do you all plan on reverting back to the old style of having the people who are giving public comment face the audience? Because right now, the way that it's laid out, the person coming up here is surrounded by city employees, almost like it's a Soviet military.
Yeah, so the purpose of council meetings and public comment in those is to address the council. So that's why the podium is in pretty much every council chambers that I know of is situated like it is.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Danny, I don't see Danny. Alvin.
So earlier when I spoke, I addressed the mayor and I was asking him to try to get him to stay for public comment because those signage issues are very pressing for us as a community as a whole. And because he's clearly on record not willing to do his job, I think that there may be apprehension from you all as to how we would go about removing him or getting him out. As you say, you told Orlando the other week that we weren't, that 36, what you referred to.
Yeah, do you want me to respond to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what she brought up was, I think, Alabama Code or something, 36. It's no different than what we've been stating since the question's been asked for 10 months. There's no council action at all to remove a mayor or another council member for that matter. There is impeachment, an impeachment process that happens through circuit court that a petition can be filed. I'm assuming that's a fairly high bar to clear, but I don't really know. But it happens through circuit court. It's not through the city or city council.
I mean, it kind of pushes us in the direction of apathy or feeling like we've been defeated as a people. But
it just is the answer. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound like that. I just don't know.
Is there not something that we all can do? I mean, I'm not saying to put him out, but for us to be able to get things done here, because we can't get them done without.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not.
He's not present.
Yeah, I guess, in my opinion, like something like a third-party review, I think was initially being led and never happened with the mayor leading it. So we took that over and did it. So I think you are seeing some of that, maybe that we are trying to take up that slack when we feel like it's there. It's not our job to do it, but somebody has to. So I would argue a little bit that we have, but I'm happy to have that conversation. I don't want you to think it's apathy, or I don't want you to get frustrated, because I hope you know personally I've tried to help. I understand, but it's frustrating to me when I have tried to help.
Yeah, for sure.
So
and we acknowledge that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
And
Yes, sir.
Alvin, one other thing, and I mentioned it to Mike a second ago about the sign and the banner. I was made aware of it late yesterday afternoon. I got a text. I texted the mayor, and within 15 minutes, he sent me a picture of it down.
I mean, because that is, for us as a community, that is extremely concerning.
What's that?
I mean, what do you mean?
That it was removed? That fact, like, I mean, no, I mean, yeah, it's concerning to me too, but I'm just saying that the mayor, he did get it, he got it down.
So that's why I asked him to please stay to address the people, and he chose not to.
There should have been something put out.
Danny.
People I thought was very people I respected. I don't know if I do that sometimes.
Hey, Aaron, Brandon.
Any good?
So I wanted to come and mention it first, but obviously y'all already talking about it with the sign and everything that happened. And I saw your post about it online, and I also wanted to thank you for that, for at least making a statement and standing up for it. And I didn't see anybody else try to condemn it or say anything about it. Were you the only one?
I just shared
I think they did, but
Yeah, I put something out online, and then we also addressed it here tonight, but
Gotcha.
unless you want us to readdress it, I don't mind.
No. I was just wondering if that's what happened. The next thing I wanted to bring up is, yeah, sorry about that. The next thing I wanted to bring up was, I know that we have been talking about Todd and his plan over the last few weeks. I've heard that he's been showing it to a couple people. Have any of you guys seen it?
no.
No?
I've seen bits and pieces.
I did when it was
Draft
released
type.
the first time,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen where it is now.
You haven't seen anything
I saw what
else?
y'all saw, I think.
Okay, so have you seen something else?
I've seen like an outline in bits and pieces, but not whatever he's expected to release.
Okay.
Which, to my understanding, his plan is supposed to be released by the end of the week. That is to my understanding, yes.
I hope that's true.
That is what I've been told by somebody that's working with the chief.
Okay,
So.
all right. And so he's gonna release a plan that, do you know if the mayor or anyone else has seen it?
I don't.
I would assume he has, but I don't know.
And none of you have seen it, not even you?
I have not even, no, sir, I have not
I've
seen
seen
it.
it.
You've seen it,
Yeah,
so
I've seen it.
there is a plan.
Yes, there is a plan.
And you have seen a
I
plan?
have seen a plan.
Okay, and as the liaison, were you going to mention it to anyone? That there was a
Yeah,
plan?
I mean, it's the chief's plan. It's his to release. I have seen it. There's a lot of stuff. I know when the 6 main points were released early on, there's some stuff in there that's going to be fluid, but it's his plan. I think it's a very cohesive plan. I think it's a very detailed plan. A lot of it, I think what kind of delayed the plan perhaps from being released any quicker than it was the third-party review. Because, as we all know, somebody's asked us, are you going to have a review of the review? At what point, is it enough to go on, okay, well, here's a third-party review, here's a plan that we have internally going forward, we got a third-party review that we're open to corrections on. So I think we're trying to cover all of the bases as thoroughly as possible.
I don't think so. I think that you're doing the bare minimum, and I think that you should ask
Mike.
us about the plan.
Danny, are you still going?
Yeah.
All right.
So what I would say is that I do think that they can be done simultaneously. I don't think you have to wait on one or the other, because obviously the review is going to go for months. And this plan is something that you can put out there.
Well, Danny, the truth is this, the plan should have been released prior to the point where we voted on a third party. It should have been done before then. So whether or not it delayed it or not, I don't know. But I do think that there should have been a prepared plan released when we just approved the third party not that long ago. No, it was not that long ago. So.
Masters, why you ain't shared with them?
Guys, let's let Danny finish.
All right. And so the last thing I want to bring up, I know there's for the bike trail that's being built that you guys got the grant for. Is it the understanding that bike trail is also to connect underserved communities to other parts of?
Well, that's actually what the grant that we got is called. Yes. So yes.
Okay. So are there plans to improve anything else on the other side besides the bike trail for the communities over that's being connected, or is it just the bike trail that's going to be
open to any improvement? I'm not sure what you have, if you have something in mind, but certainly open to any type of improvement all over the city.
Absolutely. I just wanted to know if that was the plan, because I know that the purpose of the grant
reconnecting communities
is to reconnect, underserved communities to parts of the cities that they're not able to get to on their own. And it's a little bit more than just to connect communities. If a community has to leave their community,
just to get to do something else. They have to always go somewhere to get something done. I think it's part of the city's plan and part of their mandate to make sure that all communities have things that they can do no matter where they are, instead of having to get on a bike or take their, their time all the way. It's a federal right.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Thanks, Danny. Will?
I'll give you that. I'll roll it on. Hey, how are y'all doing?
Good. Do you mean to get that? If you talk loud enough, the mic will get it.
You're probably, that's probably.
I got a question. If any of y'all punch her in the mouth, are you getting fired?
Say what?
Just a random question. If any of y'all go up,
I hope we get arrested.
I'm pretty sure you
arrested, but you would get fired too, right?
Well, we're not employees of the city.
I'm just asking, you think your boss would be like, hey, man, we don't want to hire people that are just randomly punching women in the face, right?
Yes.
It's probably a good idea. It's not the first time that's happened. But I just learned that the dude who did it and bragged about it on Facebook didn't get fired. And he's walking around with a badge and a gun. And he's just hitting women. I don't know. I personally don't think a guy that just goes around hitting women should be carrying around a badge and a gun and telling people what to do. Is that not embarrassing? You don't think it's embarrassing that your cops are being allowed to just torture people and just gets to go home? Or he gets to retire early? Because we had one cop that got retired early who literally was messaging people, doxing people, saying, you mess with the wrong ones. Are any of y'all like love the military? Because I'm a former veteran, and I don't know if you've heard about this man named Adam Winfield, 21 years old. I keep hearing leadership. I don't care about leadership. It takes one person to grow a pair with some hair to go and do something about it. Adam Winfield was 21 years old, had multiple people in his unit, killing random people on his deployment. He was getting death threats. People were telling him that they're not going to find your body. And he did time for whistleblowing. What are y'all going to get for standing up against these white supremacists? And that question only goes from here to the left. That's it.
Thank you, Will. Justin?
We'll give you a clip of how you want. Oh, I can? Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to get that out. Sorry, adult moment.
You're good.
First of all, good evening. There's a lot that I need to cover here in a little bit of time. So I'm glad, Carlton, you brought up the third party. As you had mentioned, you brought it up to Senator Britt's office when asked about the Steve Perkins incident. Why was that when the third party's not investigating that?
Why was that the third party's not? The third party is taking a look at the entire police department.
Wrong.
Okay.
Let's ask Mr. Ladner. Are they investigating the entire police department to include the murder of Steve Perkins?
Yeah, the case is not part
okay.
of it.
So I'll re-ask that. Why would you then tell Senator Britt's office that the third party is looking into it when that has nothing to do with the Steve Perkins case?
Because she asked, their office asked about it.
Specifically, they're not looking into the case, so why answer with something that has nothing to do with their question?
Because it was asked.
So you purposely misled Senator Britt's office?
No, Justin, I didn't.
So why would you answer with something that has nothing to do with the question that was posed?
Yeah. The question from the office was, with the climate indicator surrounding the police department, was anything being done? And the answer to that is, there's a third-party investigation. That is the answer.
Okay. Moving on. Why was there no press conference after the signing was hung up by anybody?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Do you feel that the city should take a stronger stance on racism?
I think everybody should take a stronger sense, on racism.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have the words to describe how ridiculous those signs are, and the groups that post them are the scum of the earth. So I don't know what we can do stronger than say that. If we can prosecute, I'm all for it. But people that have those beliefs are the worst people on the planet.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they spray paint under the bridge, they can be arrested.
Close question?
You said, is there something more that can be done other than obviously speaking out against them? But if there is prosecution that can be done, it needs to be done. And obviously, if somebody spray painted something on city property, or I think it's railroad property, there's got to be some charge for that.
So on that point, you had asked what else can be done, correct? Has the point of maybe, I could probably name multiple people in this room tonight that would be good points of contact to, start engaging the community in understanding and better handling situations like this to better head off racism. So if you're interested, honestly, in ways to head that off, there are quite a few people after the meeting you can probably ask.
To add to what you're saying, because community partnership is something real big, right? As soon as the banner was seen by anybody in the public or somebody in the city was made aware of it, there should have been something held immediately addressing that. That is unacceptable. That behavior is unacceptable, and it should not. You should be held, if at all possible, in any criminal liability whatsoever. You should be held immediately in this situation, because racism doesn't just stem for one race. It goes across many. Everybody in many different situations, but obviously in the South, in the southern part of the United States of America, especially in Alabama, we've got a major history with racism, especially down in Selma and things like that. And so it's very disheartening to not have seen one of our city leaders, or I'm going to say I think the mayor should have come out and said something immediately. He should have addressed somehow or another should have addressed the public and said, this is unacceptable. We're going to continue to move forward. We're going to address this because I seen the banner on Facebook. I didn't see the spray paint. I didn't even know anything about that until like 20 minutes ago. But it needs to be addressed. It needs to be handled, and I'm hoping that, I'm sure the police department, I don't know if the police department would handle the investigation on the railroad side, and I also don't know what can be done about the banner. However, somebody needs to step up to the plate and do something about it.
I appreciate that. Mr. Ladner, I'm going to be hard on you for a second.
Go for it.
You said someone took it down, correct?
Yes, I don't know who took it down.
Why did you not follow up?
Because it was down.
Not that important to you?
No, it was taken down. I requested it be taken down, and it was taken down.
You are the president of the city council. Somebody said when Jacob Ladner's name shows up on the phone, somebody should be shaking in their boots.
So I got a text that said it would be taken down, and I immediately got a text actually from someone sitting in this room that it had been taken down. So I don't know the actual person that cut it down, but it was taken down.
So it was not a city official?
I do not know.
Okay. Does anybody have any comment about the mayor being found to be guilty of ethics violation?
I gave a comment in the newspaper. What I would say is that the system, it worked how it's supposed to. If there are ethics charges, they go before the ethics commission and they decide if there was a violation, and it's referred to the district attorney.
Now, can they remove him for that violation or not?
They would, if there was, Herman, correct me if I'm wrong, but if there's an ethics violation, that would be referred to the district attorney, and if it was severe enough for removal from office, they would proceed through the circuit court.
It gets back to the impeachment thing. It's
Yeah.
all handled circuit.
So yes, if it was a severe enough, I believe in the order they gave, they said it was administrative and could have a fine. I don't think they were recommending removal from office.
Does that trouble you that the mayor of your city is?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Are
finally,
you talking about found guilty of ethics violations? Yes.
did the insurance company drop the city?
Not that I know of.
They didn't. Okay, I think it was all I had, so thank you.
Thanks, Justin. All right, anything else? All right, we are adjourned. Thanks.